I just bought this off-road go-kart for a pretty good price, but it has a lot of problems. Mainly being rust. It's basically everywhere. So I'm gonna have to learn how to weld to fix it, and I've never welded anything in my life. It does run and drive, which is nice. So in this video, I'm gonna try to fix it up and sell it for a profit to hopefully go towards my dream car. But let's go back to when I first bought this thing.
I'm Noah. Noah? Okay, you're the guy.
And after looking at it, I could tell it was pretty well taken care of.
I got this from the original owner.
And to make it even better,
If you want to hear it start, the engine's completely cold right now.
then he brought it out to show me that it worked. To be honest, I didn't even try to negotiate because it was exactly as advertised.
Yeah, okay, cool. Let's go, yeah.
So we loaded it up, and of course, I literally got the smallest trailer from U-Haul, which was $15, by the way. So it didn't quite fit, but we made it work.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
But I think for 500 bucks, this is a pretty great go-kart. And after I do all the work to it, I think I could potentially sell it for like 2 or 3 times the amount I bought it for, which will really help go towards my dream car. But somehow we made it back without it falling off the trailer.
Just like that, we got it. Looks so cool.
But first things first, I had to take it out for a drive. And this thing was fast. So why did I buy this go-kart? Well, first of all, for 500 bucks, you get a running and driving off-road go-kart. Plus, it's got an upgraded 212cc engine, and the rear shocks look pretty sweet. But I think first things first, we gotta give it a wash. Let's make this thing shine. So with my cleaning supplies and a leaky hose, I started by giving everything a rinse to get rid of any debris that was still on the go-kart. Just spraying the underside of this with water, rust comes off. That's how bad it is down there. That's crazy. Now that we got the main stuff off, we can now degrease it. Well, at least I thought I was degreasing it. Turns out, if you look closely at the soap I'm using, yeah, it's car washing soap, not degreaser. But even though I was using normal soap, it was still cleaning it pretty well. I'm still not really sure why I mixed up degreaser with car washing soap. I think I remember the degreaser being purple, which it kind of is, so I just grabbed the purple jug without checking the label. Then my dad realized I wasn't using degreaser. Oh, it is? Oh, didn't even read it. That's my bad. Oh man, that's fine. We'll just do everything. So I grabbed a funnel and filled a spray bottle with a degreaser just to make it easier. Washing is like my favorite part of flipping junk. Though, to be honest, mostly everything is my favorite part, except for replacing tires. That is not fun at all. And luckily for me, the tires on this go-kart look fine. All right, that's everything clean. Oh, it's hot. If I'm being honest, it kind of looks the exact same, but that's kind of the point. We degreased it just to get all the nasty stuff off, even though it looks the exact same. But now that I just cleaned it, I gotta drive it back on dirty trails. Oh wait, forgot to turn that on. There we go. What just happened? What? Somehow this thing got wrapped around. I didn't even do that. Oh, there it goes. Okay, take 2. So the first thing I want to fix is these front shocks. They are super rusty, super nasty, and instead of trying to repaint them and clean them up, I'm just going to order some new ones that should hopefully match our rear shocks, which look awesome. So I'm just going to measure these things from top to bottom, about 12 inches, and then take one of the bolts off so I can measure how big the diameter of the inside of it is. And after getting those measurements and a little bit of research, I found these shocks. They should work pretty good and they look cool, and they're only $72. It is hot out today. So I want to paint this, but I don't know what color would look the best. So I thought about doing blue, red, orange, green, purple, but I don't really like any of those. So I think yellow is actually going to look the best. And yellow is my favorite color, so that does help. So I ran to the store and got some paint. So now I'm gonna take this thing apart so it's easy to paint. Whoever made the design for this is amazing. Literally just a few nuts and bolts, and for someone like me who has no clue what they're doing, that's pretty nice. Oops. Oh, weird. This one's all messed up. It's like super loose, and it came together really tight over here. The last bolt. So I should be able to just lift it up. Yep, there we go. It looks so weird without it. I don't know what I think about it. It's just weird looking. Now it's time to take off this seat. And don't worry, I got a bunch of baggies and I'm organizing all the bolts so I don't lose any of them. But yeah, I don't really know how I'm gonna get this thing off, but we'll figure it out. Okay, I think I know how it works.
Also, whoever designed this added these nice holes so you can easily access the bolts, which is a blessing and a curse because I'm replacing that entire rusty pan. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to make 2 perfect holes in the right spots. But that's for future me to worry about.
That should be the last one. All right, it should just lift off. Oh yeah, nice. Wow, this thing is starting to look cool. You can really see the rust though. So now the final and hardest step, removing the engine. It doesn't look too complicated, but it's gonna be a little difficult. So I started by taking a bunch of pictures of everything, just so I know how to put it all back together. But right now I'm not really sure what to do. This throttle cable can either come off over here or all the way over here.
And after some careful consideration, I eventually decided
So I think we're gonna have to take it off over here. So hot. Probably shouldn't have left all my tools in the sun. Oh, there we go. Nice. So now that this throttle cable is off, I'm gonna keep it on the engine just so it's easier when I put everything back together. Now I gotta get all these zip ties off. And there we go, just like that. Now the final thing we gotta take off is this on and off switch. It leads all the way back to the engine.
And that was pretty simple. Just unplug it and snap off all those zip ties.
This is interesting. It's just like a clip thing instead of a zip tie, and it just, oops, just pops off of there. Nice. Just like that, we got both the wires connecting the engine, and now we can just take it off. Oh wait, I forgot about all this stuff over here. I was gonna take this circle thingy off so I could get the chain off, but there's a spring in there, and apparently it's pretty hard to put back together. Not impossible, just hard. So instead, I'm gonna try to move the engine back and then get that chain off.
I was having some trouble getting the engine mount bolts off, and it might have been my fault it happened, but I realized,
oh, this bolt is like all messed up down here. You can see it's super messed up. I don't know if I did that or what happened. Got a few more sizes, so maybe one of these will work better. Finally, there we go. I'm 100% gonna be replacing this. Wow, it got all messed up. There we go, that's the rear. Now we just gotta get these 2 bolts and we should be done. How am I even supposed to take these off? What? There's no way I can fit one of the things on top of that. And beneath it is one of the round head things, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
I tried using a pair of pliers,
Ouch.
but I grabbed a different tool, which I honestly don't know what it's called,
Oh yeah, there we go.
but it worked great.
Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. So in theory, I should be able to push this whole engine forward and we can get the chain off, but I don't really know if it's gonna work. We'll have to see.
I moved it as much as I could, but there wasn't enough slack.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to take this chain apart in that one little spot. I think it's right here. And I just need to like pop it off or something.
Yeah, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I made it work.
Oh yeah, so that just pops off. There we go. Our chain is in 2 pieces. We can take it off and get the engine off. Nice. Now for the big moment, I should be able to just lift this engine off. Oh yeah, there we go, just like that. Ugh. And we've got these engine mounts. I'll probably paint these too. That was pretty easy. Every time I remove something, it looks weirder and weirder.
And right when I was about to remove the wheels, I noticed something very concerning.
Oh, what? That is not good. I was just messing around with the go-kart and look what I found. There's a crack right there and one right there. I'm no expert, but I really don't think that's good. Look at how much it like moves around when I move the go-kart. That seems really, really bad. Well, I guess I'll have to figure out how to weld that. But before I figure these out, there is some shocking news. Yeah, the shocks just came. So I just want to make sure they fit the front. If they don't, then I can order some new ones, but they should be right. Yo, these look so cool. They definitely look a little big though. I don't know. Okay, well, I definitely got the right length. Obviously, these ones are a little compressed, but it's the right size.
But I was a little worried because the reservoir was in the way.
That's not gonna fit in there. I didn't really think about that. Oh wait, if I turn it inside, okay, it'll fit this way, I think.
And I decided to take the old one off just to be sure.
Nice. Okay, now it just pops out of there.
And after wiggling and moving it around a bit,
Well, I guess it fits. It's just pushed up a bit. There's got to be a way to adjust it to make it smaller, so I think this will work. It does look like a million times better than the old ones. So now that we've got this thing fully unassembled, it's time to take out this rusty pan and then hopefully figure out how to weld a new one. I just went to the store, I bought a welder, a bunch of welding supplies, safety gear, pretty much everything I should need. I just don't know how to weld. So let's take this to the garage and figure everything out. Here we go. So if I lift this thing up, you can actually see all the tabs where this was welded on. So I think if I just grind those off, this bottom pan should come off very easily. But before I do any of that, I'm gonna take all the wheels off so this thing's way lighter and way easier to work on. Oh yeah, nice.
Like everything on this go-kart, the front wheels are pretty simple.
That was easy.
But even though these front ones are simple, the rear ones end up being a huge challenge.
Just like that, nice. Let's get the other side. Nice. This one didn't even have a washer.
After getting the last nut off, I jacked it up and tried getting the rear wheels to pop off, but they wouldn't budge. I thought there might have been some sort of pin holding them in, but I couldn't find one, and they just wouldn't come off.
Well, I think this is something I'm gonna have to figure out tomorrow, because I'm done for the day.
But before I took a break, I added some rust dissolver to hopefully help get the wheels off after sitting overnight. I also grabbed the engine and the seat so they weren't sitting in the sun. I left the roll cage because it's already faded, and I'm gonna be repainting it anyways.
So these rear wheels just will not come off. They're like fused to the axle.
So instead of trying to take the wheels off individually, I'm just gonna take the entire rear axle off. That way it's still light and easy to paint, which was the reason why I tried taking the wheels off in the first place. But it turns out these older go-karts have problems with the wheels getting basically welded to the rear axle because of the rust, and that seemed to be the case with mine. But I didn't realize, to take the rear axle off this go-kart, you have to take the rear wheels off first to allow it to slide over and pop off. So I just couldn't get it off.
Oh, just won't come off.
Before I got this go-kart, I actually tried getting 3 others. The first one wouldn't respond when I called him.
Complete your call. Please try again.
That's weird.
The second one sold right when I found it. And the third guy actually answered.
Yeah, sorry man, I just sold it. Have you tried Marketplace Monitor?
You know what? That's actually a really good idea. Marketplace Monitor constantly scans Facebook Marketplace to find exactly what you're looking for. So instead of sitting at your computer and refreshing Facebook Marketplace all day, Marketplace Monitor notifies you the second a good deal gets listed. Just found me this zero-turn lawnmower for only $400. That's a big deal when you're looking for things that sell fast, like go-karts, dirt bikes, project cars, literally anything. So if you want the best deals before everyone else, click the link in the description to try out Marketplace Monitor and use code Nowah50 for 50% off your first month. Okay, so I've tried everything to get this rear axle off. And looking online, it is super common for these rear wheels to get rust welded to the axle.
So I'm just gonna put the axle back on.
It's not going anywhere.
And yeah, it will be difficult to paint the inside of the rear wheels, but I have some ideas that should hopefully make it work, but it definitely won't be easy.
Okay, I'm gonna bring the go-kart out now and grind the pan off, but it's so hot, so I need to set this thing up.
Having this sunshade actually helps so much. Where I live, you can't be outside for too long in the summer, and you especially can't be outside with baggy protective gear on.
Hopefully this thing doesn't blow away.
Now I'm using these sawhorses to hopefully be able to suspend the go-kart in the air so I can work on it really easily. We weren't really sure at first if it would fit on them, but after some maneuvering, it actually seemed to be perfect.
Yep, just like that. Okay, now all I gotta do is grind off all these tabs. I'm a little nervous for that.
Yeah, that was a bit of an understatement. I have no clue how to do this. I've never used an angle grinder before, and I really don't want to cut off one of my fingers. So to be honest, I had no clue what to expect.
Okay, let's do this. Oh, I'm nervous for this. Okay, let's give this a try.
And honestly, right away it didn't seem too bad.
Oh, it's so close.
And after a little bit more cutting,
Just like that, we got our first tab welded, or cut off, I mean, not welded. It's looking pretty good so far. We're really getting this thing off.
but yeah, this was actually kind of fun. I did have to change the cutting blade like 4 times, but besides that, it was going pretty well.
I gotta take these 2 bolts off because they're in the way of these welds right here.
Originally, it took me a while to cut through a weld, but after some practice, I realized it was much easier using the blade from under the gap and cutting sideways, opposed to doing it just head on like before.
Just like that, it's mostly off. Just got a couple more welds to do in the middle, but then it should just come off.
But I couldn't quite get through the metal, so I bent it up, which made it way easier.
Oh yeah, here we go. I'm gonna get that good. That is hanging on by a thread. Now this is the final weld we gotta get off, and then this thing should just pop off, so. that took way too long, but we got it off there. Nice. This was such a nasty piece of metal. So good to finally get it off. All right, so now that we got all that cut off, I've got to grind down all these metal bars because they look actually really bad. So I got this grinding pad and it should hopefully work perfectly. Nice.
Now this I really enjoyed. It's just so satisfying to grind off the old nasty metal and uncover the fresh metal. And it was a lot less work. The tool basically did all the work for me, and I was a little less nervous about cutting my fingers off, so that helped.
I think that's pretty good. I mean, it doesn't look great, but I think it'll work. I don't really know though. So now it's time to clean this up.
I know it was like 2 minutes in the video, but it took 4 hours to cut the pan off, grind the metal, and clean everything up. So it felt great to finally get it in the garage.
Well, that went better than I thought, but I am so tired. Hopefully welding wasn't as much work as that. That'd be nice. So now that this thing is cut and ready to weld to, we need some metal. So I went to a shop and got this metal custom cut. It should be perfect size, and it looks pretty nice. And it was only 55 bucks, which I feel like isn't bad. I haven't actually tested to see if it's the right size, but let's... Oh yes, dude, perfect.
If you're in the Phoenix area, I would highly recommend checking out Metal Supermarkets. This isn't sponsored or anything, it's just a great place. I told them what metal I wanted, they cut it fast, and gave it to me for a great price.
All right, let's see if this works. I'm actually gonna trim that a little bit more. That could be trimmed. Let's give that a try. That is perfect. Let's go. Okay, this thing is cut. It's grinded off. It looks great. So I think now it's time to weld it. But first I gotta clean everything up.
So I grabbed this metal sander and put it on my grinder. And I got the edges cleaned up and hopefully ready to weld. And I promise that's the last time I have to take metal outside to grind. I've been doing that a lot lately.
Whew, there we go. So this thing is looking really good, but there's still a bunch of rust underneath this. So I'm gonna try to grind off all the rust I can find, so when I paint it, there's no rust. But yeah, that is a perfect fit. Well, I just grinded this thing a bunch, but I forgot to press record, so sorry about that.
But yeah, it's so much better to do this before I weld the pan on, because I can easily get to all the rust and really get it off. And after this, I'll be sure to sand down all the rust that's left over.
Okay, well, I mean, it looks pretty good. I couldn't get to every single rust spot, but those spots I'll just sand off by hand. But I got most of the rust off, so I think we're pretty good. So now it's time to figure out how to actually weld this thing.
To be honest, I was nervous and excited about welding. I've always wanted to learn, but I don't want to wreck all the work I just did on the metal pan.
Okay, I'm gonna plug this in. Hopefully it's all good. Okay.
And yeah, technically I could have just bolted it on and that would have been fine.
Just like that, there it is. That's crazy.
But I gotta start somewhere with welding, and I feel like this is the perfect first project.
Those should be the correct settings, I don't know. So originally I was gonna do some practice welds on some extra scrap metal I had, but I don't have any. So I'm just gonna have to go for it and hope I don't mess this up.
So I wiped it down with some isopropyl alcohol on all the edges where I was gonna weld, and then did my best to clamp it down.
That's pretty good.
And then I attached the ground wire thing, and it was time.
Oh man, I am nervous about this. I do not know how it's gonna go. I can't believe I'm about to do this. I have no clue what I'm doing. Oh man.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect.
Okay, it's on. Here we go. I have no clue what to expect. I am so nervous. All right.
Right away, it definitely wasn't going great.
Oh, wow, that looks terrible. Oh, that is crazy.
But after practicing some more and thinking about it, I realized,
I think the problem was I wasn't pulling it away. I was like going straight on, which made it look really bad.
so this time I really tried pulling it consistently.
Wow, that looks so bad.
Yeah, it wasn't looking great, but it was so much more fun than I expected.
Okay, I'm gonna try one more time in this spot now. I think I was going too fast or something. I don't really know. My hair looks crazy.
So this time I tried going more slow and controlled.
Maybe I'm crazy. I think that looks a little bit better. I mean, it still looks pretty bad.
Then I grabbed a wire brush and cleaned it up a bit.
Oh, interesting. These two still look awful. This one gets like really good for like a second. You can kind of see the lines. I think that's really good.
But yeah, I felt like I was really starting to get the hang of this.
It's genuinely looking so much better. I think I'm starting to get the hang of it a little bit.
Welding is so much different than I expected. This might sound weird, but I was really paying attention to the sound it was making to help guide me. Because to be honest, I couldn't see much in my helmet. But I was making some serious progress on the pan. What's kind of funny is the welding itself doesn't take too long. It was setting up the clamps and the ground wire that took most of the time.
This side actually looks pretty good. I don't hate it.
Then I just locked in with this weld.
I might be crazy, but I think that's probably the best weld I've done.
If you've made it this far into the video, thank you. And if you could please subscribe, that would help me out a ton.
Well, here we go. This is the last spot to weld, and then we're done with the pan. It's actually not bad for my last weld. It's not great, but it's not bad. So now if I just remove this whole pan should be solid on there.
So yeah, for my first time welding, I was pretty happy with how it turned out.
But now that we're done with welding the big pan, we've got to weld all the cracks in the rear axle mounts. But first, I gotta grind it.
The grinding went pretty well on the left side, but I couldn't fit my grinder on the right side because of the brake, so I just used sandpaper instead. Then I wiped them down and started welding. The right side turned out pretty good, but in the middle of welding the left side, I accidentally caught it on fire. And sadly, my microphone was dead. But luckily only the plastic axle cover was on fire. But I finished the weld and it looked alright. Then I tested the pan and it seemed to hold up good. And it was looking pretty awesome.
But now that everyth's fixed, we gotta prep this thing for some paint. We're replacing these front shocks anyways, so I'm just gonna take them off.
Doing this just makes it so much easier to paint because I don't have to mask it all off.
Oops. Oh, I just broke that. This steering wheel is crooked, so I'm just gonna take it off anyways.
But then I noticed something.
That's so weird. All these screws are fake. This is the only real screw. That's so weird.
I'm really still confused on why this was crooked.
There we go. Now the final thing we gotta do is drill holes, because if you remember, there were some holes right down there for the pan.
I tried using a drill to mark the center, but it wouldn't go through, so I went straight to a circular bit, but that also wouldn't go through the metal at all.
Burnt through this one.
So I thought if I did a bunch of small holes together, it would look fine, but this ended up being a huge mistake.
Looks really bad, but it'll work.
Yeah, it looked awful. And for some reason, I also did the same thing to the other hole, which also looked terrible.
When you slide the seat forward, it's kind of hard to see, so it's not a huge deal, but it is kind of too bad. I should have just used the right tool.
At least now I know for next time not to do it that way. Then I also grabbed the roll cage and took it apart to prep for paint.
Okay, so this is everything we're gonna be painting. So now it's time to do a lot of sanding.
So I'm basically just sanding everything with 220 grit sandpaper, and any parts that have a lot of rust, I'm using 60 grit to really get the rust off. And that's just kind of a slow process. I also removed the brake and the gas pedal because they're in the way of the bar, and I want to paint them black. And same with the rear shocks. It's just so much easier to remove a couple bolts to free up some space for painting and for sanding. I'm not gonna lie, sanding is one of those things that take forever and isn't really exciting, but it's very important to do. If I skip this, the paint probably wouldn't last long because it didn't have a good surface to stick to.
Okay, that just took 4.5 hours, but now we gotta degrease everything, and then we can finally paint. It's so hot out, my camera overheated, but we're making some progress on the cleaning.
And don't worry, this time I was actually using degreaser, not car soap.
Oh, just like that, everything is clean, sanded, and ready to paint. That took all day. Well, I really wanted to paint this today, but it's so hot and it's so windy. And usually that wouldn't be a big deal, but tomorrow's the last day I have to work on this thing before I leave. So I just gotta hope the wind dies down soon or something. I don't know. Well, it's the next day and it's still super hot and windy out. And I don't want to ruin all the hard work I did with the paint. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna be gone for a couple months, but when I get back, we're gonna fix this thing up and sell it for a profit.